Hey friends and wine lovers, welcome back. I've done a lot of videos about Riesling before, and it's a fantastic wine, world class, and for many connoisseurs it's considered to be sort of the pinnacle expression of white wine. But do you ever notice sometimes Riesling tastes like gasoline?
Did you say gasoline?
Yes, gasoline. It's very controversial. If you're uninitiated, it's a little hard to hear or understand why your wine is supposed to taste like gasoline. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. So there's this chemical compound. Let me see if I can get this right. It's 1,1,6-trimethyl-1,2-dihydronaphthalene. Jesus.
I can't believe you got that.
In the wine world, for short, we call it TDN. And apparently this chemical compound is sort of like a sunblock in a way. It's in the grape to protect the grape from UV rays. And TDN is actually so strong that it's detectable in millionths. 2 micrograms per liter or something like that. 2 millionths of a liter are detectable. So once it passes those thresholds, they express themselves as kerosene or gasoline.
Is this considered to be the desirable taste?
Yes, certain people really find this desirable and other people find it just completely off-putting. So there seem to be 2 main factors that contribute to the amount of TDN that you're going to get in your wine. The first one is before fermentation in the vineyard, it's the exposure to the sun. So the amount of sun contact that the berries actually get increases that TDN, since it is sort of like a sunblock. And the second major factor that contributes to increased TDN is age. The older the wine is, essentially, the more of that TDN you're going to taste. So I've grabbed 5 Rieslings from my local store from around the world, and we're going to open them all and taste them to see if we can find the gasoline. We're going to start with the Chateau St. Michel. This is a 2022, so this is the youngest of all the wines that we have here. They're basically an institution. They pretty much started the wine industry in Washington State.
This would probably be the one we would be less likely.
Yes, because it's the youngest. It's more fruit, you know, like a Riesling smells sort of like a bouquet of white flowers. Lime peel, lemon and lime. Not really getting a lot of that gasoline here.
I didn't get a lot of them.
It's very pleasant, very pleasing, and super acidic. Like I was telling you, you're not going to have any teeth enamel left by the time we're done this tasting. This one's a year older, so 2021. Ooh, there it is.
It's got like a
rubbery almost,
yeah.
like a petroleum product. Yeah. And this is what makes it such a hard sell for beginners. You had a pretty good observation. You were saying it's kind of like when you're pumping gas in the car.
Yeah, and you get the vapor.
You get the vapors. Yeah, there's almost like a volatility. Well, if I can just like kind of bullshit a little bit here, maybe. Walla is further inland in Washington, and it's a hotter region, warmer, more sun exposure, so we're getting more of that TDN.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's gas. We're going to go to a classic. This is Dr. Pauly Bergweiler. This is a very famous brand. This is pretty much like ground zero for Riesling production in Germany. And for what it's worth, this is the most expensive bottle here in the lineup.
I'm just excited because I like the name Dr. Pauly.
Dr. Pauly. It's so German. Oh, and that's almost got like sort of an effervescence in there. You can almost see like some...
Look at that, it's like bubbly.
Yeah, a little prickle. All right, let's go Dr. Pauly. Holy crap. There it is. Yeah, that's super intense TDN there, man.
Oh yeah, I barely got it to my nose.
Another common descriptor for Riesling too is apricot, lychee fruit, and there's that lime peel again. But holy crap, the gasoline is strong with this one. That's a fantastic wine. Gasoline included.
Yes, gasoline.
I don't mind it there. It's kind of integrated in a way that like really kind of, it's very desirable.
That's going to be a tough one to top. What's next?
We're going to go to the Finger Lakes, and this one's near and dear to me because I started out my wine adventures in the Finger Lakes. I proposed to my wife in the Finger Lakes. Aww. And then last year I attended Riesling camp. So we went up there for 3 days and we did sort of like a presser. There was this one time at Riesling camp.
Right.
Wagner is one of the originals, the OGs in the Finger Lakes region. So I expect this to be of the utmost quality. Finger Lakes is becoming the prime spot in the United States for Riesling. But yeah, whew, it's there. Apricot as well too in the lime leaf. So this would match right up with the Pauly Bergweiler. Ooh, so it's definitely more flinty and stony. But yeah, there's really that strong TDN in there.
Brighter too. There's a certain like a brightness to it.
If you compare this to like the Pauly Bergweiler, that is like kind of like viscous and oily. This one is kind of like lean and sinewy.
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 That's a $20 word right there.
4 open so far, and 3 out of 4. We're getting that TDN.
So far it's building, right?
Seems to be, yes.
The older we get.
Lastly, we are going older, and we are going to Oregon. Another great place for white wines and for Riesling. Normally, you're seeing wines from the Willamette Valley region. This is from Eola Amity, so this is close by, but another famous region for making Riesling. All right, and this one is 2019, so this is the oldest in the lineup. So if we expect to get some of that TDN from the age of the wine, it would be here. Holy crap. There's no TDN here, no gasoline. This is like, it almost smells nutty. Okay, so it's not on the nose, but it's on the palate. Yeah, the TDN, the gasoline is definitely on the palate.
Right.
And this one is a lot more viscous. But yeah, that interesting sort of hazelnut.
There is like a buttery kind of like quality to it when you try it. Yeah.
It's like, you know, a little bit like Werther's Original.
Yes. Oh God, I love those.
This was the Chateau Ste. Michelle. This is where we started. This is 2022. This is 2019.
You can really see the difference.
You can actually see the difference in color. So we started out with a young wine here that was completely clean, no TDN there, no gasoline. Then we moved to one that was 1 year older, but from a warmer region, I think, and that shows us that sun exposure definitely contributes to that. And then we moved over to the classic Riesling from Germany, which was elegant and beautiful, and it does have that TDN, but it integrates it pretty well.
So nice.
Finger Lakes, that didn't have as much TDN on it, I don't think.
That one was more of an outlier, I thought, in that regard.
Yeah, and it was lighter too, so I think it didn't really kind of hit you as hard. And then lastly, our example from Oregon was very interesting with like flavors of almond and marzipan. And it wasn't really on the nose, but it was really strong on the palate.
So what's our takeaway?
TDN, the gasoline or kerosene aromas and flavors can be acceptable and desirable when done in the right amounts. In small doses, it really makes the wine a little bit more complex and desirable.
Beautiful.
So thanks for hanging with me and talking about this. So where do you stand on the topic? Share with us below because I'd love to hear what you think. If you like what I'm doing here and the content that I'm providing, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. I'm Marc Supsic, and you're not. Cheers, everybody.